Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Sunday evening. Hopefully you all had a great weekend. I know my wife and I did. We went to some friend's house and we spent the weekend with them and just got back a little bit ago. And one of the things I wanted to do before the weekend wrapped up was to do a short review on the Martin 000 15 SM. So the 15 is the series model number, and the S in the SM stands for standard, for the standard headstock. This is not Martin's standard headstock, but it was at one time, many moons ago. This was one of their standard headstocks that they issued, was the slotted version. So that's what the S stands for. The M stands for Mahogany, which many of you probably already know before you ever watch this video. And you can plainly see from looking at this guitar that it is all mahogany, and this one was made right here in the USA. It is solid mahogany back and sides and top. It's got a tortoiseshell pick guard coloring, and it's got rosewood fretboard, got a rosewood bridge, got bone saddle, ebony bridge pins. You've got the open back. I think these are Waverly tuners on these. They're beautiful tuners, and I'll try to get it up here. If you can't tell and you've been watching the channel at all, I have a new camera. Yeah. I might have to groom a little better now that I have a better camera. I might have to comb my hair or something, but it's one of the reasons I got the ball cap on than that. But if you look at this headstock, it is absolutely beautiful. Now, there's a lot of pluses, I think, to a slotted headstock, and I think some people would say there's some minuses to a slotted headstock. I find changing the strings on these not to be all that difficult. You have to put a little more thought into it maybe than you do with a flat headstock. So Martin makes two versions of this 000 15. They make this SM, which has the slotted headstock, and they make a 15M, and the 15M has a flat headstock. That's one difference. The other difference between the 15SM and the 15M is the 15SM, if you hadn't noticed already, a bit of an elongated body. Okay? So you have sort of a dreadnought look to this 000 guitar, which is interesting. It's a very lightweight guitar, by the way. But you've got a slope shoulder up here. So this is a 12 fret. 12 frets meet the body, okay, as opposed to a 14 fret that meets the body. So what they did when they built this 12 fret was they stretched this body up, okay? And I don't mean literally stretched it up, but I think you have about the same amount of wood as you do on the 15M. The difference is this body is longer. And so they bring these shoulders up and round them like you would see on a Gibson J45, or if you saw the Martin DSS 17, yes, review that I did. That's a dreadnought slope shoulder that Martin makes with mahogany back and sides and a spruce top. But it's a similar design up here when you look at the slope shoulders. Now this one, to me, looks like something out of the 1930s. Boy, does it ever have a retro look to it. It is a beautiful mahogany guitar. You can still smell it. Smell that. See what you think. Okay, so, but when I open the case up, you can still smell the mahogany coming from it when I pop it open, and which is a fantastic scent. If you've ever smelt mahogany, fresh mahogany, it smells great. But this one, I don't think has a scratch on it, at least nothing you can see. It has a kind of a satin finish to it. You hear that? Yeah, there goes the meter. So you can hear that. It's a satin finish. I rather like it. I think the guitar breathes with that really well. So you get a good sound out of it. You can feel it when you play it, you know. I can feel it all up in here when it's laying up against me, and if I've got it hugged up tight, I can feel that. that satin finish on this. I got a few satin finishes. One is that Epiphone inspired by Gibson Hummingbird. They say it has a satin finish on it, but it feels more glossy to me. So it doesn't feel like this guitar or the Martin DSS 17, which has a satin finish on it as well, as opposed to some kind of a lacquer-based finish, right? Or nitros finish or something like that. So it's not smooth like or slick would be a better word, like some kind of a nitros finish on here. But the satin has a good feel to it. And I think it's good for acoustics. Some people like them, some people don't. They talk about in the long run, will it last, all that kind of stuff. Well, it will if you take care of your guitar. The best thing to do is not take them outside when it's 90 degrees and 90% humidity, right? And your guitar will be with you a long time if you take good care of it, right? So, I like taking my guitars outside and playing too, just like everybody else, but I'm not going to take it outside if humidity is above 55% or so. And I'm not going to take it out there in the dead of summer in the heat. I bought a very cheap, inexpensive guitar, and I won't even talk about what that is in this video, but I bought it so that I could take it outside if the humidity was 70% and the temperature was hot. Anything happens to that guitar, I have very little investment in it. And thus far, it's survived me. Of course, it's laminated back and sides, and it's got a solid top on it, the one that I use for out there. But that guitar serves a purpose to me, and it's to be able to take it outside and enjoy the back porch, and hopefully I don't freak my neighbors out too bad, and they, when I'm playing the guitar, But nonetheless, this thing is a little work of art. It just really is. I just want to make sure you get a good view of this now that I've got a decent camera and I can kind of show it to you. Try to do that without hitting that microphone. It's really beautiful. It's got the scripted logo on it. I did a short little discussion on this when I used it in one of the beginner guitar lessons that I had put out. But it's a very beautiful guitar. Very, very beautiful. And it really is one that'll take you, next thing, if you close your eyes and you're holding this in your hand, you end up in a train station, I don't know, leaving northeastern Arkansas somewhere in the 1930s. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But it's really conducive to playing fingerstyle. Matter of fact, if I said, what was this guitar built for? I'd say it's built for fingerstyle. 1 3/4 nut. The string spacing is perfect on it for that. It just has a beautiful, beautiful feel to it. I like it. It's a nice little player guitar. It's one of those guitars you just want to pull out, sit in a chair somewhere and just sit and pick with. It's got some good volume to it. You can get as loud as you want to get with it, I think. But certainly worth the money. I think when I bought this guitar, I paid around $1,500 US for it. Came with a case, a beautiful case. And I just dropped my humidipacks in it in the neck area of the case, and anytime I get it out, it goes right back to bed like that. And I haven't had any issues with this guitar at all. I think it was well built. I think a lot of good thought was put into it. And there's something to be said for the simplicity of an instrument. It's nice to have an instrument that's a little flashy. It's cool and all that kind of stuff. But rarely do you get one that's just like super flashy and just plays like a dream. The Epiphone, inspired by Gibson Hummingbird, was one such guitar. But I I like these simple guitars. There's no frills on this guitar. I mean, the tuning machines are stunning and they're beautiful. But the guitar itself is really a plain Jane guitar, which is what somebody would have been playing back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, right? So most of these musicians that you see on YouTube today that were from that era back then, and I mean, most of them are gone now, but if you look at the guitars they were playing, you're looking at it. It was simple. It was plain. Most of them were ordered out of a catalog. Grab a Sears catalog, and they would order a guitar out of there, and that's what they used. Use whatever they get their hands on and make music. So look, if you're the kind of individual that enjoys just playing music, it does for you what it does for me, which not a great player by any stretch of the imagination, but I love playing the guitar, and it makes me feel good when I do it. Especially when I don't mess up. Isn't that how you feel? I think it's a beautiful guitar, well worth the money. You ought to check it out. At least go to your local guitar store now that most of these guitar stores, I think they're all back open again. And pick one of these up and play them. I had no problem, of course, after I bought the thing, I have no problem suddenly finding them in guitar stores. And I think the last time I looked on Reverb, which was like last week, there's a bunch of new ones still out there for sale. I don't know if they're still making this guitar or not. They might be, but there's some new ones out there for sale because I saw them last week unless somebody bought them all up. Wouldn't be the first time, right? So, worth a look. Pick it up. See what you think. Leave me a comment if you like it. If you own this guitar, tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you think about the same thing I do. You know, you pick it up, you just enjoy it around the house or enjoy it sitting picking with friends. It's comfortable to play. It's got a nice tone to it. That slope up here on this part of the body up here provides a little more depth, in my opinion, from the guitar. A little more of the deeper response from that. But it is it's a nice little work of art for what you see in front of you. Check it out. See what you think. Let me know. Appreciate your time. Always good to see you. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. God bless. We'll see you next time.